Fellow citizens, child pregnancy is not just a health issue, it's a pandemic, a national crisis, a social justice emergency, and a collective moral failure. Every single year in South Africa, over 150,000 girls between the ages of 10 and 19 fall pregnant, and over 2,700 of those pregnancies involve children aged between 10 and 14. These are not teenagers experimenting. These are children, and a child cannot consent. Behind every statistic is a girl whose childhood has been stolen, a girl pushed into adulthood long before she is physically, emotionally, or mentally ready, a girl forced to carry not just a pregnancy, but shame, trauma, and lifelong consequences. Child pregnancy strips girls of their right to education. It destroys their health, and it traps them in cycles of poverty and dependency. It fuels inequality and weakens our nation's future. Simply put, today's child pregnancy is tomorrow's poverty, inequality, and broken society. In a nation with strong moral fiber, these numbers would spark outrage, marches, emergency interventions, and relentless prosecutions. Instead, we have silence, and silence is complicity. What's most disturbing is not just the crime itself, but the failure of adults around these children. Many of these girls live with their parents who normalize the situation or choose not to report it. Neighbors look away, community leaders stay quiet, clinics and hospitals treat the pregnancy but ignore the crime behind it. By doing nothing and saying nothing, we protect abusers. Let's be absolutely clear. Under South African law, sex with anyone under the age of 16 is statutory rape. Section 54 of Sexual Offences Act makes it a legal duty to report it to SAPS. Failure to do so is not only immoral, it's criminal. If a child gives birth at 10 years old, it means she may have conceived at 9. That's neither culture nor a mistake. That's rape. Yet case after case collapses because families withdraw complaints. This should never be an option. A crime is a crime regardless of who the perpetrator is. Fathers, uncles, teachers, pastors, neighbors. No one is above the law. Families cannot be allowed to negotiate justice away behind closed doors. This crisis is rooted in sexual violence and abuse. It intersects with HIV and STIs, gender-based violence and femicide, poverty, substance abuse, and harmful cultural norms that protect men at the expense of children. The solution requires more than sympathy. It requires education, enforcement, accountability, and courage. Authorities must enforce the law without apology. DNA testing should be mandatory to identify perpetrators. Men who impregnate minors must face strict penalties and prison sentences. The Department of Home Affairs must monitor birth registrations involving underage mothers. Clinics, hospitals, and families who knowingly ignore statutory rape must be charged with gross negligence. Schools must offer serious, age-appropriate, comprehensive education, not reckless messaging that encourages experimentation, but education that teaches consent, rights, self-worth, and protection. Girls must be empowered to abstain. They must be empowered to say no. They must be empowered to understand that their bodies are not public property. We must also stop glamorizing child's pregnancy. Big baby showers, social media praise, and celebratory narratives send wrong messages. This isn't a milestone, it's a warning sign. It should be treated as a teachable moment, not entertainment. At the same time, we must stop making sex education taboo. Silence breeds ignorance, and ignorance breeds abuse. When girls don't understand their bodies or their rights, they are left defenseless. Parents, educators, health workers, churches, civil society, the media, and the private sector all have a role to play. Protecting children is not optional, it's a legal duty and a moral obligation. The mere fact that South Africa doesn't have accurate statistics of girls conceiving or giving birth before their 16th birthday worries me even more, since it suggests that the government is reluctant to address this crime. The bottom line is straight and simple. Sex with a minor is statutory rape. It should never be excused, never be hidden, and never be normalized. We cannot afford to normalize the violation of our children because when we fail them, we fail our future. If we truly care about this country, we must protect its children relentlessly, unapologetically, and without compromise.